Eden Zero is back! And so am I! We've learned the plan that the crew of Edens has formed in order to finally take down Ziggy, but it's one I don't quite gel with. It involves basically using Rebecca, whose powers, as well as Weiss's existence, is a bit of a draw for one of the Time Eaters. Those mysterious wispy beings that consume planets and distort their time to massive levels. And while I've trusted Hermit's decision time and time again in the past, this one feels a little too dangerous. I know it's a desperate situation. I know Ziggy needs to be taken down. But this may very well result in the loss of one or more of the crew of Eden. This is a potential death sentence. And after, I know 2 years have passed in the universe, but the loss of Sister still feels fresh. I don't like the idea of losing someone so soon, I guess you could say. And with the pattern that's been going on, it leaves the question in my mind, are we gonna lose Hermit next? Or maybe Sister? Nothing to do but to soldier on and see where things lead. Join me, won't you? Nice little cover page of Laguna and all of his cosmetics. I love the Heartcrutes branding. A bit of a shout out to Rave Master's brand. Alright, chapter 181, Prelude to the Kaede War. Oof. Intergalactic war. Dang. And you know things are about to pop off because you have Xiao Mei, our narrator and local fortune teller, about to drop some hot bars about what's to come. She says, Cosmic Era, X492. After the conflict between our heroes and the empire known as the Aoi War, Ziggy went on to expand his territory through the Kaede cosmos. He deployed massive numbers of robot soldiers, conquering planets with military might. Things that we weren't able to see because of time skip. It was unimportant, put it out of your mind. Shiki and his friends began working to rescue those planets that Ziggy had occupied. Oh wait, it was 3 years, not 2 years, 3 years. My mind went to 2 years because of Fairy Tail and some stuff they did. 3 years passed, during which the crew of Eden Zero matured immensely. Cosmic Era X495. Having finally located Ziggy's headquarters, Shiki prepares to launch a counterattack. The Eden Zero's plan is to summon a chronophage to Ziggy's base on the planet Lendard. Operation Planet Eater was soon to be underway. Who will win, Shiki or Ziggy? The hour of the decisive battle draws near. See, that's the fact that Xiao Mei, she didn't have her signature smile, her signature cheekiness, her signature playfulness when she announced something. She just listed off everything we needed to know and just said, now we start. It's unsettling, like something bad is about to happen. Usually I'm kind of happy to see Xiao Mei, but something feels off here. Like there's this overwhelming feeling I get from this series where it's just like, it feels like something really bad is about to happen. Alright, Eden Zero flying on. Everyone at their stations. Captain Connor piloting the way. Hermit says, we will be entering the Lendar defense zone soon. Sister says, all hands get into battle position. And we see Labelia and Couchfu, the non-combative residents on the Edens. And Captain Connor says, I may be a man what fled from Lendard, but with this ship on me side, I can fight. Mateys, for the future of both humans and machines, we cannot let Ziggy do as he pleases any longer. I have chosen to fight. Now that me mind is made up, I am prepared to stake me life on this ship. That scurvy scum sent his robot soldiers to dominate peaceful planets and mercilessly kill scores of humans. Somewhat were children, somewhat were happy families, somewhat were young buckos dreaming of the future. I say we take it back. Let's bring peace back to the cosmos. God damn, that is one hell of a speech. And it's all interspersed over everyone getting ready for battle. battle. Put on your wall paint. Like, that's some AMV material right there. And then we cut over to Elsie's fleet, the Skull Ferry. Elsie says to her commanding officers, pirates fighting to bring peace to the cosmos. What is this world coming to? Berman says, you said it. Gwen says, do you want to grab all the valuables before we go? Hyoga says, there's nothing on the planet but androids. Elsie says, I will disembark on Lendard along with the Eden Zero crew. I understand their plan, but I intend to destroy Ziggy first. Sounds about right. She's got that mindset of, if the old man has lost his marbles, I should be the one to put him down. And we have Holy's fleet, the Midnight, and her commanding officers. We have Holy Soldier Shiro and Holy Soldier Ibuki. Shiro says, Commander Lady Holly, are you really giving your orders from the Eden Zero? Ibuki says, if the other members of the Eurasian Says Interstellar knew we were joining forces with the Demon King and pirates, but Holy stops him and says, Feather already knows. Don't worry, just remember what I want you to do. Show them the power of our fleet. Ibuki says that goes without saying. And Shiro says, you can count on us, Lady Holy Sir. You got a bubbly personality there. And here's the other foot. Holy says, and when the time comes, ... Shiro says, we know. Ibuki says, the Immaculate Military Operation. Yes. I don't want Holy's bullshit in this situation. It's just like, yes, it ramps up the tension because you're waiting for her to do something to pull her ploy. When will she pull it? How will she pull it? Is it specifically after Dead and Crow is dead? Is it specifically after Ziggy is dead? Or is it after the two of them are gone that she's just like, and we take out the crew of Eden Zero? Just like that. I mean, if that's the case, it's a good plan. If nothing else, use the allied forces of the Eden Zero and Elsie to cripple Ziggy's forces and Dead and Crow. They do enough damage to each other that Holy's team could just come in, destroy the lot of them as they're weakened. That's a military strategy right there and then. And you got Rebecca in one of the fighters. She's been reeling because of the fact that she basically learned that some of the work of the chronophage is because of her abilities. And I kind of like that there's more of a consequence to using the Cat Leaper ability, because being able to reset time whenever you want, a little too much. Finding out that resetting time actually leads to the death of thousands of people. That's a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone as gentle as Rebecca. Happy says, Rebecca, are you okay? Rebecca, with this solemn look on her face, says, yeah, I guess I'm still a little shaken. This idea that the chronophage might attack Norma might be my fault. Happy says, remember what Wise said. If that chronophage hadn't come along, we never would have met this version of him. Rebecca says, I know, but there were a lot of people on Norma other than Wise, and I erased 50 years of their lives. Happy says, no, you didn't. They just started a new 50 years, like Wise did. And Rebecca kinda has to shake away her reservations, saying, you're right, this is no time to be angsting. I go to Lendard, infiltrate its core, and send out an ether signal. Summon the chronophage and get it to eat the planet. It's so obvious she just hates the idea that her abilities cause so much destruction. That Shiki, calls in and says, if anyone can do it, we can. I'll be with you the whole time. I promise to keep you safe, Rebecca, no matter what. And Rebecca says, thanks, Shiki. With that cute little blush. It's just like, ooh, they like each other. And I guess Hermit on the comms telling everyone, now entering the Lendard defense zone. Approaching Ziggy's defense drones. We see that Pino is with Shiki. And she says, Master, here they come. He says, yeah. And then he pins up in his fighter ship. He pins up a picture of Witch as well as Valkyrie. He's got to remember what he's fighting for. He says, lend me strength. Witch, Valkyrie, here goes, as he's ready to shoot out into space. Hermit says, Roger, and all of them go launching out. Eden Zero Leo Starfighters launch. And then here come all the drones. Take down Ziggy's Nest-class defense drones. And then Elsie telling her crew, follow Shiki, as the Skull Fairy and its fleet go racing in. You see lots of destruction. Shiki's blasting down drones left and right. Pino says, Master, drones at 3 o'clock. He says, got it. Destroys them. He then activates his ether link and uses a Magimech attack. The Gravity Cannon! Massive damage. I wonder if any of the Eden Zero games have like mini games where you're in a starfighter or anything like that. Like Mashima is basically serving a mini game to anybody who wants to create a video game of Eden Zero. Wise says, Shiki, tone it down. Chris says, there are a lot of drones out there. Let's turn on our ether links too and wipe them all out. Klein says, ether link, I'm on it. Laguna says, roger that. But suddenly there's a whole bunch of, I guess, destruction of a lot of the drones. Shiki's surprised. He says, is that? Connor says, impossible. Wise says, you're kidding. Rebecca says, what are they doing here? Oh shit. I hope it's not the Union Army getting in the way of their operation or something. Oh, dragons! It's dragons! Oh shit! And Sister says it isn't just a couple either. They're swarming around Lendar to protect it. Oh, Hermit says that. They're swarming around Lendar to protect it. Jesus. How would Ziggy have taken command of the dragon? Or is it... God, that is a fucking swarm of those things. Jeez. Like you kicked a hornet's nest. Is it possible that Ziggy isn't just allied with the Dead End Crow? One of the other members of the Orishas says Galactica. The mother of dragons. Yep. Holy says it. She says, no, it can't be. Was Crow not the only Galactica to join Ziggy? Elsie says, this is not good. God Agnola. She's with Ziggy too. Caption bot. Oreshian says Galactica. Mother of dragons. God Agnola. Ooh, shit. And so... basically, this battle involves the majority of the Orasian Says Galactica, because you have Elsie Crimson and Shiki Granbell on one side, and with Ziggy you have God Agnolia and Dead End Crow. Hell, all you need is the last dude, Saint Fire Nox, and you'd have all of the Orasian Says Galactica going at it in this battle. I was wondering how we were going to incorporate more of the Orishas Says Galactica. Gee, the mother of dragons. So, is it just that she's been in command of the dragons? Or is she actually the source and creator of all these dragons too? That's what I'm wondering. And the dragons have been somewhat dangerous before, but, I mean, they haven't been that much of a problem in the past. But then again, the last time we dealt with them, we were just basically trying to get around them, not trying to go in direct combat with them. So that's definitely going to be a problem. Like, it begs the question, are the dragons essentially just going to be there as fodder? Or are they going to be made out to be a major threat? I mean, it's better than just shooting down a bunch of mindless drones as we go in. Actually ends up being a little bit more of a challenge to everyone's piloting abilities. But with the plan hinging on Rebecca getting as deep into Lendard as possible, is she gonna choke? I feel like she might choke in all of this. Just not wanting to be used like that. Because... like, this is really hitting Rebecca pretty hard. Like, it's so obvious this mission is just not gelling with her. Not so much just the whole taking down of Ziggy thing, it's just the fact that that's how her powers ends up being used. How it's been used in the past, essentially. There's also the situation with Holy. Like, I want to think, and this is just me, I really want to think that the heroes will just have Holy's number, and the moment she tries to pull something, they'll be on it in a snap. They'll jump on it and immediately just kick her to the curve or whatever. Or maybe even Holy is brought over to their way of thinking and actually becomes a major ally to them. Maybe there's even a subversion that she was never an enemy, she was always an ally or something. I don't know, I want a little bit something more than, oh, she was always the enemy. And with Elsie's want to kind of subvert everyone's plan and go after Ziggy directly herself, there's always this thing in the back of my mind that thinks Elsie's gonna fall in combat trying to take down Ziggy. It feels like that's where this story is leading. Elsie just sacrificing herself, or either something going awry and she dies, and it's motivation for Ziggy to for Shiki to go in and go all out against Ziggy. And that's just the feeling because of the fact that she's just been such an outlier in the series. But then again, she has to have the whole situation with Justice put to bed. So it's just like, okay, is Justice gonna arrive here? If Justice doesn't arrive, nothing's happening to Elsie. At most, maybe she loses a limb. But Elsie definitely survives if Justice does not show up in Lendard on the battlefield or anything. But yeah, that beginning with Zhao Mei just, 2 pages of Zhao Mei just listing off everything, getting us caught up to speed where the story is at, and what we're about to head into. She just gives it coldly. There's no life, no personality to the way she says it. There's a catastrophe happening. Anyone could guess that, honestly, but there's so many ways all of this could go wrong. That's the funny thing. And I guess that's just good storytelling. There's so many avenues for things to go wrong that it's just like, if something does go wrong, it's just like, it doesn't feel like, oh, that came out of left field, that came out of nowhere, honestly. Kind of like the stuff with Witch, like how she died. Something never sat right with me with the way that she got eliminated. Because it's just like, that was such an unnecessary sacrifice in my eyes. Like, Ziggy just coming in at the last minute. Now choose, Shiki, make the right choice. It's just like, the fuck is this? This scenario, someone's gonna die. Multiple someones might die. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think is gonna happen? What shoe do you feel will drop first? The stuff with Holy, the stuff with Elsie, the stuff with Rebecca? Were you shocked to see another member of the Eurasian Says Galactic come into the fray? Or did you actually predict that? Let me know your feelings in the comment section below. If you like this video, subscribe for more. Or don't. I ain't your daddy, but I still love you like one. Until next time. I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye.